where we are now with implementing this law, what has SBS done thus far, and how long, and what do we plan to do to ensure participation from as many certified MWBs as we can get. Well, let me just say, we are working crazy right now. We are in the process of meeting with all of the city agency chief contracting officers. We met with them all with the Mayor's Office of Contracts at a monthly ACO meeting that they have every month. They know about the law, they know about the bill, they know about the timeline. Above and beyond that, we are meeting with them individually because every agency has an individual procurement practice. Every agency does things a little differently. And we want to do some serious analysis, agency by agency. So when we meet with these agencies, not only are we telling them giving them an overview of what the law entails, we give them an overview as to what their responsibilities will be and are. We tell them about our agency utilization plan, which right now we have just completed the template. We are in the process of reviewing it with the Mayor's Office of Contracts. Once that is done, we will have training for all of the agency chief contracting officers with guidelines as to how to prepare it, and we're going to go through the template and actually walk them through preparing this and what we expect from them. We're working with them with outreach efforts. We're doing a number of networking events with every agency, so on a monthly or every other month basis, we will bring different agencies to meet with all of our certified companies within the areas that they procure the most. Because that way you can get to meet the contracting officers, you can get to meet the buyers, you can get to meet the people within that agency that buy what you sell. This is already in the works. We've already done 3 of these. We've done one with DOT, EDC, so we're working on this. The template is going to be completed. Agencies know May 15th that they have to submit their utilization plan detailing how they intend to utilize our companies, the goals, and how they intend to meet these goals. These goals are very aggressive. So that's why when we meet with the agencies, we've set up reporting mechanisms already. We've already started to track what agencies are buying and who they're buying it from and what companies they're using. Because as part of this program and part of this law, you will understand that we also have enforcement mechanisms. Agencies who do not meet the goals will then lose procurement authority. Contractors who do not meet subcontracting goals can be found non-responsive, can be in default, or can have payments withheld from them. So all of this is being worked out right now. Contract language is being worked out by the Mayor's Office of Contracts as well with the law department. So by May 15th, the utilization plans will be done. Implementation and accountability will start July 1. And right now, we are working feverishly to ensure that all of this happens and agencies are trained appropriately to comply with this law.
Identify yourself, Mr. Luck, and give your perspective.
Marco Luck, CEO of Spectrum Personal Communications Corp. What I would say is that currently what's happened with the city, with the legislation since it's been passed, and I want to thank very much these 2 gentlemen right here, Councilman Sanders and Jackson, because without their leadership, this would not have happened. Initially, the city had another program they wanted us to accept, but we made sure that we got legislation because we think about legacy and the continuation long after Mayor Bloomberg has gone from office. That being said, one of the things that I work with as someone in the community, I work very hard, constantly with the Minority Business Leadership Council. That council is 17 organizations in the city of New York primarily. And what we've done is we were the ones who were major advocates of getting the legislation pushed through the council. We worked very closely with these gentlemen here and the rest of the council people to make sure that happened. We testified, we did everything we possibly could to make that happen. That being said, we recently reached out to the commissioner and we basically said to him that there were some concerns we had, and those concerns were having the people that could have moved the program forward, because as you quite well know, it's contacts, everything's about contacts, having the contacts to move the program forward. The rulemaking process is currently going on right now. We're not a part of that process. There have been some recent rulemaking decisions that were released out to those members of the minority women advisory group that the mayor has. But as far as others, we have not had that. So I think one of the things is that this is something that a lot of us, like myself, who have been doing, I may not have all the factual things, you may have some differences here, but I'm just saying as far as what's been reported to me, I'm not a member of that group. But there was released recently, which I did see that, of some of the rulemaking processes, the way they were going on, and I saw that document recently. That being said, is that what we would like to do is become a part of the process, because folks like myself have been doing this since the late 80s and worked for major corporations and government agencies, have done all the construction projects and everything else, have seen it, and it's constantly and still doing it now. And we feel that there's been a little bit of a disconnect. I'm very happy that we're looking like we're going to work a little bit more together now on this process, but one of the things is that our organizations have not been funded to do the outreach, such as one of the things that came out during the legislation, during the whole push to get the legislation passed, was there were only 350-some firms that were certified at that particular time. And the council, as well as those in the audience there, felt that was very inadequate, given that about 60,000 firms that could possibly be eligible. So,
you're with Joe Wallace. We're at the Black and Puerto Rican Caucus in Albany, and I'm with Councilwoman Yvette Clarke from Brooklyn, who just concluded a very interesting panel discussion about a new law that was passed in New York City to encourage or to enforce the practice of New York City spending more money with minority and women-owned businesses. That's anybody who has anything that you can conceive of that could possibly be sold to the city. Councilwoman Clarke has just worked very hard on passing a new law to help you sell to the city. Councilwoman Clarke, welcome, and thank you for the wonderful work you're doing.
Well, thank you so much for having me on your program, and thank you for giving us this opportunity to make folks out there aware that the City of New York is now under a law, which we call the MWBE law, which really creates an opportunity, an unprecedented opportunity for particularly men and women of color who have skill, talent, expertise, who have a service or a good that they'd like to provide to the city, to now be certified and put into the process. We found that there was a disparity, a very large disparity in the contracting practices of the City of New York. And as a result of doing a study, we were able to create a law that mandates now that the City of New York set goals for more and more participation of people of color and women in the city's contracting practices.
Okay, Councilwoman Clarke, what's the name or the number of that law so people can look it up on the internet?
Okay, I think it's Local Law 129, passed December 29, 2005, and it's the MWBE law, but you can probably go to the website of the Department of Small Business Services, an agency in the City of New York, and they will probably have information about certification and this very specific law, because we're trying to get as many companies in the City of New York as possible certified so that they can become participants.
Right. And that's to say that people have to understand that the City of New York spends billions of dollars to run itself, and it uses contractors and vendors. It could be anything from someone who sells paper clips to flowers. There are a lot of small contracts that are awarded. And Councilwoman Clarke, along with other council members, actually fought with the mayor and worked with the mayor.
That's right.
To get this law passed. It's in effect now. So you owe it to yourself, if you want to do business with the city, to find out more about this and get started.
And we don't want people to wait. This disparity study has a shelf life. And at the end of the year, it will be reassessed. And if we don't get our participation up in the City of New York, notwithstanding the fact that our studies show this disparity, if we don't become active participants and grab hold of this, we could see this opportunity slip through our fingers. So I hope those of you who are watching out there will share this word with someone else, someone you know who may be a contractor. And you don't have to be only in construction. The City of New York buys everything from pencils to paper clips, from flowers to chalk. You name it, the City of New York buys it. We don't manufacture it, so get out there with your entrepreneurial spirit and make sure that you become a part of the building and maintaining of this city.
Very good. Councilwoman Clarke, thank you for your time. I know you're busy. We're going to let you run, but we want to thank you for your wonderful work.
Sure. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Take good care now. Bye-bye.
There you have it. That's Councilwoman Clarke, a very dynamic councilwoman from Brooklyn who, along with other council members, has sponsored and passed legislation where if you're a minority or a woman-owned business you have an easier way to sell your goods and services to the city of New York. It's an educational process. You have to get involved. You have to do your research. But the city is spending billions of dollars. And why shouldn't you, as a small business person, a woman-owned business, a minority-owned business, get a piece of the pie?